Hello everyone, in this video we'll try to understand our project architecture. As we are ready with our database design and we also implemented database that we saw in our earlier video, and we also inserted some dummy and meaningful records. Now it is the time to design our architecture. So my architecture, I have first of all my backend, that is my database which is ready, that is in Microsoft SQL Server. Now, how do I store the data into the database and read the data from the database? By writing some logic. So I'll name that layer as data access layer. So it is going to store the result C. Say C contains A plus B, addition of two numbers, just for understanding purpose. So it is the responsibility of data access layer, that is DAL, to store the result to the database and read some value from the database. Now before I store the result to the database, what is it I need to do? I need to perform some operations on the result, that is A plus B. So that part I'll be doing in my business logic layer, that is nothing but C#. So here I'm going to perform the business operation A plus B, calculating the salary of an employee, calculating the bill amount for some kind of shopping, say online shopping. So all these operations I can perform in my business logic layer, and the result I'll pass it to the data access. Now, how do I access the application? How do I interact with the application? That means I need to give values for A and B, and I need to look for the result. So that thing I'll do it with the help of UI, user interface. So I'm going to implement user interface with the help of ASP.NET Web Forms. So it is the responsibility of web form to accept the values from the text boxes, say A equals to 10, B equals to 20. Then it will pass this to business logic layer. Business logic layer will perform A plus B and pass the result to data access layer, and data access layer will store it into the database. All your form validations you will apply here, and all your business validations you will apply here. Now one important thing is, if I want to transfer data from UI to business logic layer to data access layer, and to and fro, the data should flow between these three layers. So how do I do that? I need a container where I need to store the data, and the other layer will read data from there. So I need a container. So that container, normally it is called as business objects or business object layer. So what UI will do? UI will store these values in business object, and business layer will read these values and perform the operations and store the result back to the business object. And data access layer will read the business object, and they pass business objects from one layer to another layer by calling methods. So no worries, if you are getting confused, no problem. We are going to see all those things practically, then the things will be more clear. We are going to see how we create business objects, we are going to see how we create UI, we are going to see how we create business logic layer, we are going to see how we create data access layer, we will see how we pass the data from one layer to another layer practically. So I have my architecture ready. Now what is it I need to do? I need to go for implementation. So while implementing, I need to create 4 projects. That means one is data access layer, another business logic layer, one more is business object, and finally your UI, that is nothing but user interface ASP.NET. So I'll have 1, 2, 3 DLLs, that is nothing but class libraries, and one web form, that is nothing but web applications. So I'm going to have 4 projects in my solution. Let's go and implement that. Thank you very much.